Can you guys hear me? I should be back. I don't know what happened there.
Eagle eyes.
Dude, I love what they did with the place. I love the decor. It looks great. There's nothing better than walking down a corridor, turning around it, and finding a pile of legs. Just legs. What, you expected the rest of the body? Dude, come on. Fat bubble thick on the surface of this pot. The rising steam smells sweetly of meat. I found this water-stained notebook at the bottom of my satchel, and now, having no use for it, I must record my thoughts, or I fear I will go mad in the solitary confinement of my own head. Months have passed, and still we are stranded on this cursed island. What few supplies we had with us at the time of our calamity have dwindled away to little more than dust and crumbs. When it became clear that we would be trapped on this island for some time, we began to ration our food. It was half rations at first, but as the days wore on and help became ever less a possibility and ever more a dream, we took only one meal a day, then one meal every 2 days. Fresh water, at least, is plentiful. It bubbles up from cracks in the stone near the ruins. No doubt that it's pushed to the surface by some unseen force of volcanism. I should have liked to have had my instruments on hand to record its rate of flow and volume, but those are long since gone, likely resting at the bottom of the sea. Our numbers shrink day by cursed day. Always now my clothes smell of rancid meat, of sweat and smoke. The jerky we made from Carol's thigh has gone off. Delicious. We had thought he might survive the amputation, but he passed away in the night 2 days ago from a fever in his blood. We have better learned how to cure our meat, but our blades have gone dull, and we have only seawater with which to cleanse them. None have survived an amputation since Carol's tragic passing, so we no longer bother with the practice. More's the pity. I was becoming an old hand at it. Eloise was lost to us today. It pains me to write the words, though her passing comes as no surprise. She drew the shortest reed. Her necklace I intended to keep, but it has gone missing since her death. I'd always thought it suited her, that the stone matched the light in her eyes. I wanted to remember that light. Perhaps someone is hiding it, though I do not know why they would do me such an unkindness. I was meant to have it. She never said as much, but I know. I will perform a search of the others' belonging when next I have the midnight watch. Woe betide the thief. A chill wind has found us. It blows ceaselessly across the isle, whipping our shelters into disarray and peppering our meals with sand. We take shelter in the nearby ruin, though I am loath to do it. Always that places seem to be, to me, befouled by some unfriendly spirit, for I hear whispers from the wind blows. They cry for mercy, for salvation. Another of the crew has disappeared this morning. Some suspected he tied stones to his wrists and walked himself into the sea, but they're wrong. I saw him walk while he was dreaming, with jerky movement not his own. He wandered deep into the ruins and did not return. So few of us remain. I envy them, the departed. Their souls are returned to the wheel and free to find new lives to lead. We unlucky few received no such boon, and that is what we have given them, a gift. We suffer so that they might be free. Our lender say we might fashion a raft large enough to escape this place. He is mad. We belong to this isle now, as it belongs to us. You are messed up, dudes.
You can trust me.
You are so messed up.
We had ribs last.
Might as well be tonight.
An ogre pirate? You didn't eat the ogre? What's the... Why? He's like the perfect person to eat.
I won't let you down. Right between the eyes.
Great. That was horrible.
Bro.
I got right between the eyes. More it's immune? Oh, that is. Don't you? Mow it, exceed honor. Reap the world. Wind. Swirl just ran out.
Rangerik, thank you so much again for that host. We appreciate
But
it.
you have to be. Hey there.
Yeah, dude, imagine.
Ishi.
Must have been
Quiet time.
super, super lucky. Oh, that's another journal. I want to read that one. Oh no, that wasn't a journal. That was a, oh, blood-soaked grimoire. Ooh. Okay.
We must do what we
Cool story, bro.
Cheers.
Cool story, bruh. 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 Kit meat recipe. The paper is ragged edged and stained with grease. Notes in a barely legible hand detail the preparation of a dish from the cook's childhood called sweet tongue terrine, but substituted with meat of unusual provenance. At the bottom, someone has scrawled, "Make for Eolina and John when I get back home."
That I'm with you.
What up, bro? You find a middle-aged dwarf tied to a post. A pile of bloody refuse is scattered at his feet. His beard is matted mess, and his face is streaked with dirt. Despite his haggard state, he twists against his bonds when you approach.
Bless your niggas. You're just in time. Another moment more and I would have been dinner.
Who are you?
Jordu, red-handed of the Imposter's Lament. Well, formerly of the Imposter's Lament.
You laugh a little too loudly.
Something of a lifelong deckhand I am. Picked up cooking in the last few months, too. Meat's my speciality. On account of the, well, you know, the business here. With the cannibalism.
What happened here?
It's a right sorry tale, I'm afraid to say. Our ship, a beautiful ship she was too, ran aground in a storm. Waves so high we couldn't see a damn thing, you understand? Come to discover this here island's about as barren as an ancient lecher's bed. Not a scrap of nothing edible on it. And none of us were especially keen to take our turn about a wheel, so...
He trails off, unable to meet your eye.
As the months wore on and no one came looking for us, we started running low on crew and, victuals. I think what few of us were left here at the end might have gone a little nutty.
Untie him.
My wrists thank you mightily.
He takes a moment to flex and bends his hands, working the circulation back into them. His lips twist into a grimace when he runs his fingers over the deep bruises the ropes left.
Say, you got a ship? Couldn't get here without one, right? You by chance have any spots open for an old dwarf like me? I might not look it, but I'm a deft hand with the rigging. Can even cook some.
Come to the crew.
I owe you one, Captain. A death like this, I'm not sure I'll ever be able to repay you. You like stew? I got a great recipe. Flavor's real different, like nothing you ever tasted. I'll make it for you. You know, and thanks.
He gives you a quick wink and a nod before heading back to the ship. I don't want your stew, dude. I don't want
need my
anything you cook. That clear? Oh, there's more of them left.
You see that, Ishi? I'm not sure I know how to...
Defense! How could I miss that badly?
I won't let you down! Evil
Eh.
eyes. I see where you're going with this.
Some of the bones in this pile are cracked and bleached with age. Dude, that place is nasty as all hell. Let's get out of there. Let's go to a place where it smells better. Because, ew. Ew. Not the best. Not the best. Oh, we gotta name the island. We're gonna name that one. Who else can we grab? Let me scroll up a little bit. We'll name that one Felikaz. Felikaz Island. Boom. Dude, the map is way too huge. It's ridiculous how huge the map is. I wonder if we'll ever finish this game. Okay. We can land on this island, but there's a storm right in front of it. Thank God I have plenty of food. You hear two crew members arguing on deck. An argument from the deck pulls your attention away from the gentle rocking of the ship and the smooth expanse of the blue horizon. Half of those fish were floating belly up, cries Arena. Better we throw out the whole catch than end up with a rot-bellied crew. They looked alive enough when we hauled them out, Rum-Dum Regears retorts, gesturing violently at the pile of fish on the deck. Fish die when you pull them out of the water. That's what fish do. Check the fish for sign of diseases. Let's judge the fitness of the catch. There are no signs of discoloration, open sores, or bloated bellies. The fish appears perfectly healthy. I told you it wasn't dangerous. I'm still afraid of taking any chances. The fish go back into the sea. I won't risk the crew's health. The wisest course, Captain. The two hens dumped the barrel overboard, returning the fish to the sea. I won't risk it. We're not lacking food by any stretch, so we're good. Plus morale is high, like everything's peachy. We can probably take that ship. Yeah, we can take that ship. They stop. What's my cannons again? Between 250 and 350. Full speed ahead. Your hull's gonna break faster than mine, Jose. Oh, he's moving some of his dudes around. Gotcha. Seawater pours into the hole in the Cruxper vessel's hull. Take all. See, because I don't need to win points with the crew. A heavy cloud darkens the horizon. Storm. I've never been in a storm before. I don't know what happens. The cloud darkens in the distance, piling one atop the next as if in battle for superiority. A vision-searing thread of lightning forks between sea and sky, followed almost immediately by a rib-rattling crash of thunder. Geordie red-handed hides the storms and spits. I wish the ship at a boatswain. There's a boatswain. There's no one better to have you as with you in a storm. Your crew looks to you, your orders. Assign crew duties. Rope and grappling hook. Beodul, take this line and lash yourself to the wheel. I don't want you going overboard. But the grimace Beodle accepts the rope and begins looping it through the spokes of the wheel in his own belt. Everyone into the rigging. We need to reef the sails. The crew ascends to the rigging, pulling lines and tying off the sails, diminishing the amount of fabric facing the wind before returning to the deck. Maya, can you and Ishiza help us scout the extent of the storm? You know what to do, Stink Feathers. Maya launches the bird off her arm. Ishiza spreads his wings and lets the winds carry him higher until he's a distant red-blue speck. Shielding her eyes, Maya watches his flight patterns carefully. Captain, this one's brewing to get ugly. Take us a week to break free of it. Ishiza lands on Maya's arms and pecks her cheek affectionately. We're as prepared as we're gonna get. No, you know what? Yeah. The cloud sweeps over you, dominating the sky and hemming the sea beneath a roiling grey dome. The rain drums against the deck. Sweat beads on Beodle's brow as the storm looms ever closer. We can't outrun this one, Cap. The storm sets the sea to churning, bending masts, twisting lines, and tumbling enormous waves across the deck. The wind drives the rain at an angle so sharp as to be almost sideways. Get everyone below decks and batten the hatches? No. We're holding course. Wave rises and break over the railing, sending water cascading across the decks. Sailors shout orders to one another, clinging to the rigging for their lives as you cut your way through the storm. The storm rages on, showing no sign of subsiding. Oh, awesome starts. Cool. Monday passed. The ship pitches suddenly and a monstrous wave strikes it directly across the deck. With a despairing scream, Eldegrim sweeps over the rail. Rope and grappling hook. Kit overboard, grab a line and mount a rescue. Line tied around the waist, Rena leaps over the rail and vanishes into the water. A few minutes later, the deckhand reappears, a sputtering Beodle held close. You help pull the sailors back into the deck. The cloud roil above you, the seas boil below, and everything between disappears into a velvet deluge of rain. Chitupek grips the rigging, shouting, "God's alive, Captain!" Under is in a fury. The deck bucks beneath your feet as the tempest tosses the shinobi. Saved him. And risks the helmsman. Keep going at it, dude. Water rises in the distance, a gargantuan swell that bends the sea around it. It bears down on you. God's alive, a hen mutters. We don't have magic. Keep it an angle to that big bastard. Don't let it roll us. With a white-knuckled grip on the wheel, Beodle strains against the rudder, carefully guiding the shinobi across the massive swell's flank. The helmet lets out a cry of victory as you descend from the crest. Yes! The ship rocks interminably and unpredictably, and soon the crew clutch their head or guts, bent double over, bucket squeezed tight between their knees. The befouled grog scent of their sick thickens the air. Physically reduce their nausea. Your mind reaches for the thoughts of the crew, returning them from the ship's sway. They blink as the sickness lifts from them like an unpleasant dream. As if exhausted, the cloud finally calm, coming to rest like a thick blanket across the sky. The waves too, and their trembling complaint, and the shinobi finally sails easily. The crew leans against the rails and rigging, their face haggard but relieved. The storm, it seems, is past.
Yes! Yes!
As if exhausted, yeah, we read that. Bro. We so got this, that was amazing. Oh no, it doesn't bind with a freaking paladin. Ah, it's a bummer. Hey, money. Ah, it's too bad. From the sea song Lord Darren's Lads, author unknown. Well, the years I found myself first mate, 'twas the spring of 2668. Left my home and loved dear. We had a letter from Adir, given plundering rights. Durwood ships were up for a fight. Gods damn them once and damn them twice. Lord Darren's promised gold and glittering prizes. We set sail, heading Durwood bound. 2 weeks at sea, and a rebel we found. We were brave young fools and surely mad. We couldn't be stopped, we were Darren's lads. Lord Darren called for ramming speed. Draw your blades, said he. Let's make him bleed. I miss my home and lover dear. We closed and crashed and leapt aboard. Bled them more than they could afford. Gods damn them once and damn them twice. Lord Darren's promised gold and glittering prizes. Lord Darren's with his Volge fought true, wrought thunder and sparks and led us through. We were brave young fools and surely mad. We couldn't be stopped, we were Darren's lads. And it binds. It's too bad though, that doesn't bind to that's a bummer. Love it though. Shit, I touched it. Roping grappling hook. Oh, I think it's a day. The ship rocks interminably and unpredictably, and soon the crew clutches their head. Oh, we did that one before. The cry rises like a pronouncement of doom from below decks. Fire! You dive into the hole to see flames licking the beams and making towards